my name is Jamie Lewis, and this is a brief overview of our ideal client. For our business, my husband and I are planning to open a firearms store. So this looks at the client that we are marketing to. There are actually three different ideal clients for us. The hunting ideal client, the self-defense ideal client, and the enthusiast ideal client. For the purpose of this video, we're only going to be looking at the hunting ideal client. Quite simply, it is very difficult to track down data for self-defense and enthusiast shooters because there is no consistent regulations regarding registration when it comes to those two activities. With hunting, however, you have to have a license to go hunting, so it is much easier to determine who is hunting and what demographics go along with that category of people. So we used information from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. This was published in 2011. You can see that here, and it's using data from the 2006 survey that they did. So we took that information and created a couple charts. This is the first one. This shows the number of hunters by state. For ours, we are going to be in Memphis, Tennessee, so you can see that is 265,000 hunters in the state of Tennessee. And based on data from the 2010 census, that is out of a population of 927,644. So returning back here, we have some overview of hunters in general. There are approximately 12.5 million hunters in the country, according to this information. The general age range that we would be looking at would be between 25 and 64 years. You can see that the green through the orange. The next highest category being 65 and up. It's important to note here as well, this category here, the 16 to 17 years, which is also the smallest category, you actually cannot sell firearms to this age range, but they can hunt. You can start selling long guns at age 18, and you have to be 21 to buy handguns. So that's just a little bit of information to keep in mind. Next we have gender, and as you can see, it is clearly dominated by males, almost 10 to 1. And then marital status, hunters 72.5% are married, 27.5% are not. Again, largely dominated. The race is also largely dominated. You can see this segment here is broken out between these three categories, but white takes up 96% of hunters' races. Ethnicity is our next category. Again, a largely dominated category by non-Hispanic. Next comes education. So the largest two categories that take up more than half of our hunters are high school graduates and 1 to 3 years of college. The next two categories, 4 years of college and 5 or more, are almost the same percentage-wise. High school dropouts are the least of all. Next we have household income, and technically 50,000 to 74,999 is our highest category, but since this is such a spread out group, we would probably look at these graphs here, which is 40,000 and up, and this is actually not reported. Alright, so we took all the data from the previous charts and combined them here. This is a little bit complicated to look at, but it is helpful for us. As you can see, these are the heights of each category, which based on that information, our ideal client would be between 35 and 44 years of age, male, married, white, not Hispanic, a high school graduate making between 50 and 74,999 a year. For the purpose of our client, we would probably spread out these as stated before. So we would say 40,000 and up for income, high school graduate to say college graduate most likely, and we would say 25 years and up for the age range. So using that information, we can move over here to Facebook, their advertisement page. We have this already set up. To begin, we're going to look at the whole country. Even though our store would be located in Memphis, we do intend to have an online presence, so we could feasibly market to the whole country. We started with 25 years and up for our age range. The max number is 64, and there was still a decent amount of hunters that were 65 and older, so we left it at no max. For gender, right now we have it set to all, since we did want to help bring in more women. That is a growing market for firearms. I don't think it's spilled over quite as much into hunting, but it would be something we would want to market for our store. As far as interests do, we just started out typing in a couple of different things, and then we used some of the suggestions. And as you can see, there are more suggestions we could pick from. And these interests that we have currently, they're generic ones: firearm, guns, anything about guns. There's also very specific guns in there and brands. And then we have activities such as shooting, hunting, fishing, camping, all things that hunters are generally interested in. We also have law officer and police officer included in there, since that is also fairly common for people in that job occupation to take interest in those activities. Coming down here for broad categories, we selected console gaming, since many gamers are interested in guns, outdoor fitness activities, since hunting is an outdoor activity. We chose parents with kids between 13 and 19 years of age. That's a fairly common age for parents who themselves are involved in hunting to begin to buy their children firearms, so we would want to market to them. Again, console gaming. For interests, we have environment, since it is an outdoor activity. And we have some politics. Firearms enthusiasts tend to be highly involved in politics, especially given the current political climate. So we chose U.S. conservative and nonpartisan. And finally, we selected all mobile users. Now with these settings, we have 20 million people we would be marketing to. And just as an experiment, if we marked it down to men, we almost cut in half to 10.2 million. If we go to Memphis, 50-mile area surrounding, 38,000 when it's only men, and when we go to both genders, we go up to 82,000. So additionally, we just wanted to talk about very briefly the general or main problem most customers have a firearms store is that almost all firearms store owners and workers have a attitude of superiority, we'll say. It's very common to go into a firearms store and be ignored or looked down upon, regardless of any factor. It could be because of your race, your gender, the way you dress, just because you're there and they don't want to deal with you. So our goal is to bring customer service to the firearms industry. So we hope this all makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or ask, and I will respond as soon as possible.